Good day everyone. For today's video, I'm gonna teach you how to drop a wide leg trousers for women. To start drafting the pattern, you need the following measurements. Waist, example 27 inches. Hips, 36 inches. Pants length, 39 inches. Bottom width, 22 inches. And crotch, 10.5 inches. So these are measurements suited for medium-sized women. To start drafting the pattern, first, let's have the allowance on this part. So allot 3.5 inches. Then draw a vertical line. On this part, allot 2 inches. And mark the corner A as your starting point. A to B, you need the crotch measurement. Crotch measurement is 10.5. So you have to subtract the width of the waistband before you mark the crotch. So this is your foundation line. Place your 1.5 inches in line with your horizontal line and mark the crotch length, which is 10.5 inches to locate point B. Also, to get the pants length, place your 1.5 inches in line with your horizontal line up to 39 inches for the length of your pants to locate point C. And then 1.5 inches for the folding allowance of the hemline. Project point B, C, and D to the right. From point B to the right, to locate point E, use the hip measurement. So, hip divided by 4. So, 36 divided by 4. So, that is 9 inches plus 1/2 inch for the easing allowance. So, this is point E. To get point F, from point E, measure 2 inches to the right. Project your point E upward to locate point G. So you have to use the measurement of B to E and on line A to locate point G. Then connect point E to G upward. From point G, measure 3/4 inch to the left to locate point H. Then connect point E to H upward. From point E, in line with point H, measure 2.5 inches. Then shape the front crotch from point I going to point F using French curve. Then from point H to locate point J, use the waist measurement. So waist divided by 4. Example, 27 divided by 4, so that is 6 3/4. From point H going to the left to locate point J. Then shape the hip using hip curve. Then to locate point K, you have to get the center of B and E. Just fold your tape measure into 2 to locate the center of B and E. So that is point K. So project point K up to the pants length. To locate point L. Connect point K to L. Then from point L to the right, get the bottom width. So bottom width divided by 4. Example, 22 divided by 4, so that is 5.5 inches. So this is point M, and then to locate point N, also 5.5 inches. Connect F to M with using meter stick, and then connect N to B using meter stick. So just extend your bottom line. So this is our front pattern. To drop the back pattern, we have to use the front pattern. So let us use numbers for our back pattern and another color of marker. So for the back pattern, we need to modify this front pattern. First, from point H to locate point 1, measure 1.5 inches. Then from point 1 upward to locate point 2, also 1.5 inches. Connect point 1 to point E with a diagonal line up to point 2. Then from point 2 to locate point 3, use 1/4 of the waist measurement plus 1 inch for the dart. So 27 divided by 4, so that is 6 3/4 plus 1 inch for the dart. So that is 7 3/4. So mark it in line with point A. So that is point 3. Then connect point 2 going to point 3 with a diagonal line. Then get the center of 3 and 2. Fold your tape measure into 2 to get the center of points 3 and 2 and mark it 4. Then from point 4, left and right, measure 1/2 inch on both sides and mark it 5 and 6. For the length of your dart, use 4 inches. From point 4 to get point 7, measure 4 inches downward. Connect point 4 to point 7. Then connect 5 to point 7 to form a dart. Also connect 6 to 7. So this is our back dart. From point B to the left, measure 3/4 and mark it point 8. And then shape the hips, the back hip from point 3 going to point 8. Then from point N, measure 3/4 to get point 9. Connect point 8 to point 9. Then from point M to the right, measure 3/4 inch to get point 10. Connect point 10. Then from point F to the right, measure 1 inch to get point 11. Then connect point 11 going to point 10 using meter stick. Then from point E, in line with point 2, which is the back crotch, measure 2.5 inches to get point 12. Then shape the back crotch from point 12 to point 11 using French curve. So this is our back pattern. In order to separate the back pattern from the front pattern, you have to trace the front pattern on another sheet of pattern paper with a carbon paper. So trace all the letters. J to B, J to H, H to I to J, F to M, B to N, N to M, and your bottom allowance. So this is now your front pattern. And this is your back pattern. So let us cut the front pattern. So before you cut this sides, fold the hemline allowance. So cut also the back pattern. So before you cut the waistline, fold the dart going to the right side. Then connect point 2 to point 3. And then cut. So this is our back part. For this wide leg trousers, we need to attach a set-in pocket. So in drafting the set-in pocket for the front part, you need the front pattern. So let's start on the corner of your front pattern. From this point, measure 1 1/4 inches. Then from 1 1/4, position your tape measure in a diagonal position. Then measure 6 inches. So 6 inches is the pocket opening. Then connect these 2 points to form a diagonal line. From this corner, measure 4 1/2 inches. This is for the pocket bag. And then from this point, measure 2 inches. And then the length of your pocket bag is 11 inches. From this point, measure 6 inches. Then connect to form a pocket bag. From 2 inches, shape this part using French curve. So this is now our set-in pocket using carbon paper. Pocket. Then cut.